say it's too early to say.
Yeah, it is quite early to say.
Ask you though, back to business here for EXECRATION, back to business for Blacklist Rivalry, and of course Bosku. But I'm curious what your take is here. Where do you think the trajectory of EXECRATION is so far this season? And do you disagree with Adam and Winter that if they take a loss here, Div 2 is, you know, not out of the cards for them?
Oh, for sure. I don't disagree. I think EXECRATION's got to show that they've learned something from the major, that they've learned something from Dream League Season 19, because so far, all I'm seeing is a regression. Even in comparison to their Tour 2 performance, it's just going backwards here. That's not where we want to go, guys. You don't want to go all the way back down to Div 2. We've seen this team. They're one of the teams that tended to, you know, get ping-ponged around up and down Div 1, Div 2 before, but it's been consistent this year. This time around, not so much, at least in this tour.
He played a phenomenal laning stage. I think there was some problems with the rotations after, but I think it's more to speak about the rest of the team than him. I think Bosku may be dead here. They do throw the blood grenade on him, and using the slows, they should have enough damage for the kill. Go into Tino. Okay, so I mean, just to go to prove that he wasn't the problem?
No. I realized, Richie, these are two universal heroes in this lane. This is disgusting. Look at their right click damage base. It's high.
It's intense, isn't it? And there's a kill there. Top lane as well. I was going to comment on this lane.
I don't think either side really gets a bigger win out of these trades. Bob eventually can just keep spamming out with Sleight of Fist. They're trying to make a move up top.
Yeah, Tino may end up paying for this. They do fight for the Lotus. I'm not sure who ended up with the Lotus, but Tino ends up with Raven back underneath his Tier 1 tower. It was the Mag that picks up the Lotus. He's got a Bracer, a Lotus now, and a Ring of Health. Deceptively tanky, 1,000 HP already at level 3. This is very balanced.
Yeah, and also a universal hero again.
Shanks, he got himself a heal. Good skewer out. It should not condemn Tino. Just simply too tanky here. You can see how big a difference all that armor makes.
Yeah, it's more than enough to keep Tino there. Granted, you aren't pressuring Raven too hard, although he isn't CSing as freely as you'd want. He's also not really stopped, right? Like, he is still free to farm. Blacklist, they are going to be looking to make moves once they've got the levels up.
Yeah, and I'd say I think he's going to have to be... Oh, okay, a little blast off down bottom. Palos is just getting burned alive here. Carlo coming out from the trees. Blood grenade thrown. Sticky bomb. It shouldn't be enough damage, and it isn't. Instead, it's Shanks who's going to TP in, secure the kill there with the Purifying Flames. Almost died there as Palos brought the sticky bomb to him. Top lane, though, that is going to go ahead and leave Tino alone to immediately Raven and Bosku get to work and pick up the kill onto the Magnus left all by himself. 1-for-1 trade here. Who do you think that behooves? That could be a bit more active early. Oh, okay, maybe they will be able to get it this time. Palos in some trouble, doesn't have Doppelganger, just use it, and the damage is sufficient. KP is going to go down, and maybe they look for more as well. KP is dying to the tower here. Carlo with a stick charge, not enough to keep himself alive. KP also keeps the wagon alive, but will be burned down by the Shanks, who at least dodges the bombs. Bosku is going to take the Twin Gate on over and pick up the kill, tanking the tower. Finally remembered how to de-aggro it, but it's a lot of kills, and it's a lot of damage to the tower as well. It's already below a third HP here. And Carlo, they're not even done. Carlo's coming down bottom too.
Palos?
This is looking very aggressive. There is no Rolling Thunder though. Carlos seems to have already used it. May not need it for the kill and doesn't, as Carlo's going to be able to catch him there with the edge of the shield crash. This is a tower.
Yeah, straight up tower, multiple kills on a PL back to back.
This point earlier about the support duo that you have here between the Maiden and the Oracle, a bit more of your backliners, right? I think Oracle can bring the damage, and we saw a very convincing game of Oracle earlier, but more so in response to enemy aggression here. There's no way Bosku makes it out of here. I believe he should be dead, and he is. The Rolling Thunder I don't think was going to be good enough there out from Carl, even if he did manage to find the perfect angle. Careful though, Bob. There is a Techies lingering in the trees. May decide to go for a play here. Oracle nearby, throws out the Fortune's End. Shanks is going to have to do a lot of work here. The world's shortest Fire Remnant is going to convince Carl to continue a bit further, but there's a bit too much healing here now, courtesy of the two, and not enough mana for Carl either to continue this engagement. Blastoff is ready, though. They're looking for the kill onto Bob. Bob does not have a Remnant down, but does manage to dodge the Sleight of Fist. Doesn't matter, though, because Bosku's going to steal away the haste here. The fight in the river continues. Carl jumps into the river, doesn't actually hit him, but the Swashbuckle will get the kill. Carlo, at the same time, he's going to be able to at least trade away for Tim's, but that's your mid laner dead.
Yeah, the right-click damage to help you clear out. You got the control.
Bosku dies for space here, most likely. There's no points in Lasso. Well, there could be, but Fortune's End, yeah, threatening to dispel. Bosku deleted, but Tim's right after is going to be able to blow up Bob. Tip for tip. Bosku says, that's space created, my friend. Carlo is going to be next in line. My goodness, that was ridiculous damage onto the Maiden. That wasn't even with a defusal yet.
No, this is just the effect of that orb corrosion on such a squishy support. Maiden just doesn't have that much in way of
really good on an Ember, but this is kind of a game where you're able to poke and prod with not only max and power, but potentially a maxed a DD rune as well there on the side of Fist. That could be good work. They have caught the real Pablos here as well. Can they actually collect on this? They can't. They just get him with right clicks. 91 damage and 99 from Techies, excuse me. Yep. That can't be right. Bob is at least going to be able to find Carl here, but Carlo lacks the damage, doesn't have the points in freezing field yet. So Carlo just about face there. Did a quick 180, finds at least Carlo in the trees, but Bob has a Remnant back. Is going to get the false promise and continue fighting here, but they're immediately on to Shanks to reduce the healing. And Bob, that's a red light above you, my friend. I don't think he gets out of this one alive, and he doesn't.
Yeah, I guess that's somewhat worthwhile. It's a big streak on Carl.
Right.
Like, you take what you can get. It's not the worst loss in the world. It's still pretty damn bad.
500 gold. I mean, it's kind of sting, right? It seems like you might lose your turn, still outstanding. Both of those runes may be a game changer here for Execration, especially if you compare them with this Magnus's Echo Saber. A death here, though, onto Palos, that would certainly sting. Rolling Thunder's ready in a second. He's just trying to get whatever farm he can. Already knows that he's dead to rights.
I mean, he just has no room on the map. Blacklist have such a good read as to where he outstrength farm up. It's not like they even have vision around the area. A lot more room in game one in comparison here.
He did. Shanks is in some trouble. The physical damage is more than sufficient. Commits the ulti on himself. It's a level 1 false promise. He's not going to live. I mean, just not a chance. Not a snowball's chance in hell. But Jonathan, he's dead.
He's just gone. I'm just wondering what happened to Execration.
Oh no, he did it to try and slow the Wisdom runes. That's why he died. That's actually kind of a well worth it play. Maybe if they can turn here on to Carl. That's freezing field stolen, by the way. Bosku letting it go. Now Bob cannot fight into this. There's going to be at least a skewer to interrupt into the RP that did not catch the Pangolier. He's rolling on through and is going to get bonked off. That defender's getting to make it out alive. But with Blacklist, yes, lose certainly something here. It's going to get better for Palos, though, Jonathan. It's going to get better. I believe, yes, indeed. We have Diffusal Blade now coming out. Tino's still a little bit of a tough kill, but not if KP is nearby. They've stolen Shockwave as well. Tino, there is nowhere for you to go but back into the Techies Mines. They didn't even need to use the Techies Mines. They'll save that for a rainy day. Oh my goodness. Blacklist, they're firing on all cylinders. They are just absolutely dismantling Execration right now.
And they're just... They know what Execration like to do, right? They've had Luna Visage they used to go for.
No, certainly they don't kill Bob, right? Telekinesis. Okay. Oh, they got vision up on the high ground. They need a little bit more damage. Raven is here. Good Searing Chains finds him. Bosku showing off his Emperor skills here with good damage onto 2 and KP as well, connecting. Oh my goodness, the damage from the low ground as well, from the Pangolier, and it's just Raven who runs him down with the right clicks. Carlo, he's got ultimate here, but against 4 heroes, there's just no chance for him to do anything. He's going to go down as well.
This is ugly. This is ugly for Execration, but beautiful for Blacklist. But for Blacklist, again, this is amazing. This is such a great thing to see from Blacklist, this massive improvement. The fact that they're working, coordinating as a team, it's such a big news because this was their one weakness across all these tours. It felt like there was no voice, there was no guidance as to when to play around their power spikes, and now they're just all over the place. They get the Aegis, and they get this huge lead early on, 11k up. Not necessarily doom and gloom, but the way to dig your ground defense is big from Execration. So you've always got that to fall back to when you've got this Magnus.
It's going to be tough, though. They did Roche even faster than I thought they could. Oh, my goodness. Carl is in. Look at that swashbuckle burning the man of the damage. Well, onto 3, but they've caught Bob. Oh, and Raven just puts him into the dirt immediately, into the water more like it. Shanks doesn't even have time to ulti himself, and Carl's already cleaved through the Maiden before I can even finish this sentence. That was fast. That was efficient. A well-oiled machine. To complete domination.
Yeah.
You see them hunting behind the tower. You know, these tier 2 towers, these outer towers, no longer as much of a threat as they used to be. There's another remnant, but look how slow he is with the inhibit. Does manage to get up to high ground, but KP has Firefly. Thought he might have gone chasey. They're going to get the skewer back after the harpoon, and Carl, that's Aegis at least. Now, we talked about these outer towers not being so much of a stopping point, but these inner towers, that may be something else entirely. As Carlo letting go the freezing field. Just not enough damage onto the Bat Rider, though. And KP still gets the kill on the Bob. Just doesn't matter. To interrupt the RP. There's going to be the stun. They're trying to stop the RP from coming through. Another stun out from Carl. There's a secondary one. They're even turning for more jump. They're diving up onto the high ground. What is this, OG now? What is this? Bob's bought back, wants to put down Tibbs. He says, give me all that money. That's 400 gold for a Techie's kill. You're worth more than my PL, thank you very much. But Carl's turning for one. That's a dieback. Emperor just went into die. And now Shanks, he doesn't have ulti for himself. He's already committed this, what felt like years ago. Okay, that's a nice skewer out of the high ground. The RP onto 2. Another buyback now up from EXECRATION. Bosku steals the skewer, does manage to save him. Carl now is unleashed. The damage is just too much. Palos is dead. Tino is down. Palos has got buyback, but how many buybacks are they willing to commit here? Blacklist Rivalry, they haven't even gotten a tier 2. They barely touched a tier 2 tower, and they nearly just went fountain diving.
Yeah, they just went diving. 9:30 on the kill board, 9:35 on our clock, Richie.
Well, as we've seen, they've killed Palos up there with ease, and they'll do it again. They control the Twin Gates, they control the Lotus Pools. Now they're going to be looking for the Ember Spirit. They stole a Searing Chains. Chains onto 2 from Bob, but the damage, it's immense. There's a butterfly on Raven.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't stopped that Morphling. It was never a threat in the lane
and look,
from Tino.
This is the threat. You look to try and farm on their side of the map. They're going to try and kill you. Rolling Thunder is utilized. They see big fish and they want big fish. They know that's the real one. There's a lasso, and they've already kind of, you know, scared this Oracle out of the fight. Down goes the Maiden. Palos is dead. There's just no moves here. It just doesn't feel like there's any moves for EXECRATION, John.
No, there's no way. I'm not sure what the way is. I can't find a way. Captaining from the offlane is just really difficult. This is something we also saw T1.
Especially when you try and play it like a mid lane.
Yeah.
In trouble here, by the way, is Tino. He might just be dead. Look at the triple mines pushed right back into them. Just a thing of beauty, honestly. I mean, that's if that does not scream, you know, with synergy and just teamwork between 2 new laning partners, like that is, it's impressive.
Hitting in, you know, you're much more comfy in Filipinos. They catch Bob out again.
No, I think he's just gonna die here. He is.
Deleted. Just like that.
I mean, it doesn't have buyback. It's actually, I believe, still on cooldown from earlier, Jonathan. It is, for another 3 minutes. Look up and just hit the damn thing with a mine.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Again, you don't have the threat of a blink skewer, blink RP.
Yes, they're smoking across an item at least. Maybe like a Manta style or something, but Peel at least able to find a bit of farm. Has he finally overtaken the techies in farm? Yes, by 1K. And now he's the richest hero on his team. I mean, that's progress. For Bob, though, in more trouble as his forecast does manage to at least get out in time. They could connect the chain stuns perfectly. They are still chasing a couple of heroes away. That is a lasso. They're dragging Bob towards the base. It doesn't even matter. I mean, he was going to die no matter what. They dragged him away from the Oracle. Shanks could not save him. Carl now is struggling a little bit here against the illusions, but yeah, I mean, not really. Struggling's a little bit of a dramatic word to use there. They are.
This is...
One
more.
Oh no, Tino, he cannot afford to die here. They have lasso as well, thanks to the Octarine core being ready. And skewer stolen. Let's see, how will they decide to kill him? Pump fakes the RP. That is a big skewer range. That is a long skewer there.
Yeah, they just clean up like that. I feel like we've said everything there is to say about it.
This one's a stomp, John.
I mean, the map is bigger, but we haven't felt any sort of catch-up from EXECRATION. Every single time, they're just racked up.
It just always feels like Blacklist Rivalry are just chasing them out. I mean, time and time and time again.
Yeah, and you see KP just, again, buying space for that Roche to happen freely.
300 gold shy. He might just die here, though. In goes Bob, and we'll see. Yes, gets the false promise. Good save from Shanks. Utilized the Blink Dagger well there. Does leave Shanks himself without a buyback, though, after that buyout. Now Shanks is dead, and so is Tino. All right, 2 heroes just like that. Blacklist Rivalry, I mean, you know, just kind of went in, honestly. Not really too much of a technical term is needed there. Carlo is going to be lassoed back at this point. You just take the bodies, and maybe there's another one. Phantom Lancer picked up by Bosku. I'm trying to go for the cheeky skewer back. Couldn't find it in time, but it's a 5 versus 2, pardon me. And EXECRATION, well, see what they can do, but they're going to be forced to strike the colors here pretty soon.
At the least, respawns are fairly short with how far behind you are, so, you know, you're going to be back up for the defense.
Damage on the Bosku. It's something. They're going to back up. Credit.
Definitely allowed him to play much more tempered, although...
All right, he's the one looking for a pick-off, and it's a big one here onto the PL. Now, they do keep him Magic Immune, at least allows him to get a Doppelganger out, but how much is left in the tank for him? Not much more. Raven brings the physical damage here. Eye of Scotty, Butterfly. I mean,
yeah,
it's
no pressure in lane, no pressure in these fights.
We're back. That's going to be the buyback into now the RP. They need a bit more damage. Doesn't have, oh, it does have himself an Aegis, pardon me, and enough mana to get off the strength shift. Another skewer on back, nearly into the fountain now, but they're still going to need another one. The slows are pretty decent here, trying to keep them at least under tier 4 towers, which just aren't targeting them. The rest of the team now continue to go in as Bob at least picks up a kill here onto Tim.
Kill off Raven.
This is pretty good, but still Carl and Bosco are just too big. Raven, in the meantime, is just taking forever to die, and they found now the Oracle. He does have buyback at least. That's one life at least off of the Aegis.
Oh,
the skewer is good, nearly into the fountain, but I think the flame break stops that in its tracks. Now KP pops his BKB here, looking to get forced off of the high ground. That's another couple of buybacks out from EXECRATION. Let's see what else they have left as Bosco skewers away, but it's going to be Harpoon and skewered back into the base. Another kill here, another 1,500 gold into the coffers here of EXECRATION, but it cost them 4 buybacks. Now BLACKLIST rivalry, that's their second buyback. They didn't quite catch Bob there. He's too fast there on the, oh goodness, on the Revenant, but they're going to be able to track. Only Tim's back. Raven shifts into actually the Magnus. He's not going to be able to kill him, at least so easily, because Shanks uses the Falls Promise on him, but down goes Bob. He's going to die in the back lines to Carl solo, and that's now going to be, well, 3 dead versus 5. That's 3 diebacks already. I don't know, John. I mean, you know, I salute them for not calling it. This is in true SEA style. But, you know, it was a glimmer of hope for them, basically, when they went into that one. And
there was a little.
immediately crushed here. I think this is it.
Yeah,
Palos
is gonna crush it.
Yeah,
that's it.
There he goes.
They're not calling it yet.
No, there it is.
Now
they are.
Okay, they call it. I mean, that was a